do a more traditional one with another interesting hackling technique, hopefully. So we are going to do a Snipe and Purple, because it's a really good, it was always used, obviously, on the northern rivers, but down here it was always traditionally used as basically as a buzzer, it's a great buzzer imitation. I don't quite see why it works so well for that, but it does. So this is a snipe wing. So a lot of the North Country spiders are traditionally tied with, like the coverts on a lot of the game bird wings. So we'll get a hook, but then before you do any tying, it's all about preparing the feather first. So I'll get a nymph hook out.
How did you fish the spider?
Just literally like a buzzer, just really slow twiddle, figure of 8, or really slow retrieve, or just static.
On the dropper, Rick?
Yeah, I'm on the point. It's just imagine it's a deal back or a buzzer. So I've got our snipe wing here, so I want the fibres of our feather to basically be about as long as the hook. So it's all about selecting the feather.
Is that the same hook or a heavier hook?
It's a heavier hook. This is a nymph hook now.
What size is that?
This is a 12.
Oh.
So 14s or 12s. We just do 16s as well. So here's our feather. So with these, obviously I'm going to be a bit anal about tying things. With these, the spiders, the silk bodies, you know that if you make any mistake, it is blatantly obvious. So it's all about neatness of thread control. Basically, every turn of thread matters. So this is an Oliver Edwards technique for basically, every turn of thread has a purpose. So I can offer my feather up, so that's the right length fibre. So I know from experience that if I pull these fibres forward, I know that if I have about that length of fibres on the stem, that's about 6 mil, that should be 2 turns of hackle. So, you want these sparse, 2 turns of hackle is ideal. So there's my tying in point there. And again, I'm not going to tie in close to these fibres. I just want to keep back a little bit so that the first quarter turn is on that stem. So I could whack a load of thread on. This is Morris silk, so this is like a proper silk for tying spiders. I could whack a load of thread on, but then it's all bulk, whack thread on, then tie the... So what Oliver Edwards used to do, to keep it as neat as possible, every thread turn counts. Before you do anything, you hold the feather on the hook with your finger and thumb. I'm basically going to pinch and loop the thread in my finger and thumb there. So basically, your first turn of thread is tying the hackle in. So every turn you can just be so neat. And so I've done about 5 turns there, I think. So now we can do our really neat long tapered cut without cutting the thread, hopefully. And then just really neat touching turns. You could always, what a lot of people do, they'll do the thread body and then tie the hackle in last. But if you're tying the hackle in last, you're only tying in like a tiny amount of stem, in this, it can pull out really easily. But with this, you've tied in a nice big chunk of feather, so it's robust, it's nice and robustly tied in. So I'm going to stop, a little bit short of where the barb will be. And the thread back out. Take your time, make it all neat, up to the tying in point. And I do land the thread in front of the hackle, and you can see where I've tied it. There's the bare bit of stem sticking out. So we've got our quarter turn without any fibres being involved. Now I know that a lot of the northern guys would literally just wind that as it is, but I can't bring myself to do it. So I always just fold the fibres back, so it's a little bit more of a veiling hackle. I know that the northern guys, they like it like a really, 90 degrees to the hook shank, really open hackle. But I like to tease them back a little bit. I think I was a little bit over on the 2 turns there, but never mind. So then, and the beauty of doing that is I'm now tying in on bare stem. There's no excess fibres to cut out. So 2 turns on the stalk. Turn in front. So as you really use the very tips of your scissors to just get that stalk out. And there we go. And I'm just going to whip finish that. So I love tying spiders. They're a real good exercise in sort of neatness and proportion and pardon me.
Whose thread is that?
This is Morris silk. It's a UK company. They do a lot of the sort of traditional colours. They are quite expensive. It's about £6.50 a spool, but you think you can tie thousands of flies with that. So it's,
How does it compare with Pearsall's?
I don't think you can get the Pearsall's at all anymore. There's various other companies, but this is my favourite, the Morris.
It's an intense colour, isn't it?
Yeah, we do. Is that that's the Morris as well. That's the sort of
How do you spell that? Sorry.
partridge and orange. MORUS. MorrisSilk.com. It's basically it's going back. It's nowhere near as advanced as the modern fly tying threads. But if you want to tie traditional spiders properly, it's just nice doing it with proper silk. So there we go. So there's a Snipe and Purple. So really good. Obviously, you fish it on the rivers, or
If you fish it on the rivers, how do you fish it?
well, they just upstream basically.
Yeah.
I know a lot of there's a lot of belief that a lot of the northern anglers, they fish all downstream, but a lot of them, they would fish a team of these upstream, and it's I think it's quite a skill to do it properly.
Well, I fished it both on the wharf,
Yeah,
up and down,
yeah.
and the down just absolutely kills.
What, on the swinging it round? Yeah.
As soon as you get that V,
Yeah. Do they sort of hook themselves doing that a bit or not?
Yeah.
So I think that's the skill upstream, is seeing the bite, because it's under. I think you might just see a dorsal.
It's a bit
fin.
more like a dry. It's a bit like a dry fly.
Yeah.
You just let it kind of float down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only on quite light hooks as well.
Yeah. But as soon as it starts to swing around and you get that V,
Yeah.
that seems to just be the attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you.
It's like a skating sedge sometimes, isn't it? When you let a sedge or something whip round.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
The same effect on the